much of demand? Tell us the process, how you came about.
Basically, our laboratories, one laboratory at DRDE Gwalior, another laboratory in Mass at New Delhi, they have been working on this 2DG molecule for some time for other applications. Then in the last year, they felt that this molecule can work effectively on COVID infected cells. And so the experiments have started, went to CCMB and did the experiments. And then those data we have submitted to DCGI, and DCGI has given the uh, clearance to go ahead with clinical trials, and phase 2A, phase 2B have done all over the country on number of patients. And then those results have been furnished to the DCGI, and then the phase 3 has been clearance has been to go ahead, and then phase 3 has been conducted on about 27 hospitals across the country over about 220 patients. And the data has been again analyzed, and the results, which have been good, have been submitted to the DCGI, and DCGI has given the approval for utilizing this medicine on severe to moderate patients as a therapeutic drug, as an adjunct drug. And that is how the clearance, and then our partner, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, which has been all through with us, has started making some. The first batch has come about 10 days back, and the second batch is released today. And in the month of June, they're going to come with a good amount of quantities and making it available to all of the people. By and large, we are seeing that most of the people who have taken this, they're all able to recover faster, and then their oxygen requirement is coming down. And so I'm sure that in the coming months, a lot more sachets of medicine will be available and help the patients to recover faster.
True, but let me ask you, is the DRDO anyway responsible for the mass production, or is it your partner from the industry who will have to facilitate that? Because many people are concerned about this. And yeah.
Basically, DRDO is definitely is a research and development organization. We do the research and come out with a specific thing, and we do the studies and say that this is applicable and this works like this and all. Though the industry partner, like in this case, Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, is the one who is actually uh, producing this medicine. They have the facilities, they have the API facilities, factories everywhere. And so they're going to produce, they started producing the first batch, and today second batch has come. And in the next week, every 2 3 days, batches will be coming out. And so it's the industry which is always the production agency. DRDO is primarily for research and development and production through the industry always.
Would you say perhaps the world over, this is the first drug for COVID-19?
I I won't be able to say exactly so. I don't know, but this is one drug, therapeutic drug, which has been developed in the country in the sense for this application, and being produced here. And then well, the applicability of this for the COVID virus has been thoroughly analyzed, tested, clinical trials have gone through, and so I'm sure that the patients will get benefited out of this drug.
If I may ask you, Dr. Reddy, what are you and your team currently working on with regard to the pandemic, and also perhaps anticipating the third wave, which many are talking about?
See, we have life sciences laboratories which keep working on all these aspects of various requirements for this type of a viral effects and biological related effects, physiological related effects. So they're continuing their work on particular one, and then also specific to COVID. And we'll tell you whenever anything comes out. Like you have seen that just day before yesterday, we have come out with a antibodies test kit,
Yeah.
actually given to again an industry called Vanguard, which are going to produce from 1st of June, which actually takes about 70-75 minutes for the result to come. And the cost of the test is also very less, around 75-80 rupees. So likewise, people are continuously working. As and when the results come, will be letting you know.
Wow, an antibody test at 75 rupees. I paid 1,350 for mine, so not so long ago. But let me ask you this. When I say you, the organization, DRDO, has always been committed to the service of the nation, and it's always been there. But would you agree if I say that in the recent past, it has come in public view to be at the forefront?
The scientists have taken their responsibilities, and then offshoot of their technologies which are working. When the nation is in this type of a condition, we should work for it. And the guidance of Honorable Raksha Mantri and the Prime Minister, and taking that into, and people have worked very hard and have come out with this uh, many solutions and still working on that very hard.
How important is leadership and political will? How much of a role does it play in, say, spurring innovation and also motivating scientists?
The scientists actually have taken the spirit and taken the call of Honorable Prime Minister, and then it is our duty to use our knowledge and the science, what we have been working on, and take the offshoot of these technologies and develop many things, like the people who are working on parachutes or CBRN suits. They have
Hmm.
developed the PPEs and masks, and similarly, people who are working on lasers and microwaves and other things, they have developed the UV sanitizers and microwave sanitizers. The people who are working on biomedical related aspects, they have developed the ventilators. So that's how the technologies, what they have been working, they have taken it up and worked on all these technologies, of course, with seeing the conditions and felt the need of it, and with the guidance of the leadership
Hmm.
of the country.
True, but we're also living, Dr. Reddy, if I were to move beyond just the pandemic, we are living in increasingly challenging times with threats to us as a nation and its integrity all around. So, from sonar, navigation, aerospace, you've been at the forefront of many technological innovations and advancements that further move towards protecting the country. That's always been the core theme, hasn't it been? But could you tell us some more of the crucial achievements of you and your team, which you would like to share with our viewers?
Number of technologies, number of systems have been developed by us. One important technology, what has been, you have seen that the Tejas aircraft, which has been completely indigenously developed, light combat, lightweight aircraft, has been inducted, and then Air Force has given 83 numbers of single largest order, which actually gives a lot of boost to the Indian avionics industry. Is one of the important things which is actually paving the way for developing advanced aircrafts in the coming years. And then Honorable Prime Minister handed over the Arjun Mark 1A tank in Chennai to the armed forces, and that's another major milestone in the field of tanks, what being developed indigenously in the country. And you know that the world's longest range gun ATACS is developed in the country. It has gone through the winter trials and high altitude trials, and will be going through all the other trials and should be getting into the armed forces soon. So these are some of the achievements what I can tell you right now.
What keeps you going? What keeps you and your team going? Don't you sometimes sit back and say, why am I doing this?
It is the duty of the scientists to equip the armed forces with the state-of-the-art equipment and arms, and see that you are self-reliant and you are actually able to make and develop them and produce them in the country, and then export them into the world to make the country prosperous.
How important, my final question, as your message to our viewers, because you're not an easy man to get. So I'm just going to request you to tell what you think and what you feel to our viewers in terms of how important is research and development and how important is public support and public trust and belief in what you are doing.
Oh, mm, R&D is the very important for any given nation. See, many critical technologies and critical infrastructure won't be coming to the country. You need to develop all those within the country yourself indigenously. So if you want to be a nation which has the state-of-the-art technologies, the complete research and development has to happen within the country, academic institutes, research organizations, industry. In a synergetic manner, you need to work and provide that. And that is what actually makes the nation self-reliant and also prosperous. So we need to work for that. And it's always very important that the country, the nation has the confidence in these organizations, and which actually motivates the scientists much more to see that they are able to dedicate themselves and come out with many more products and technologies, making the nation proud.